Okay, welcome to the Monday, April 12th, 2021 meeting of the Norton Conservation Commission. Pursuant to the Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Norton Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found at the end of this agenda. Members of the public attending this public hearing and meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment by raising their hand virtually or pressing *6 if participating by phone. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Excuse me. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Norton Cable website, www.nortonmediacenter.org, an audio or video recording transcript or other comprehensive report of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay, the commission members present at this meeting are Carrie Snyder, Dan Doyle. I thought I saw Ron, Jean Blood, and of course Jennifer, our conservation director. Did I miss anyone?
Did you get Carrie?
Yes. Okay. Let's see. So, wetland hearings and possible deliberations. We start off with item A, notice of intent, file number 250-1074, YMCA, Attleboro, Norton, 295 West Main Street, map 26, parcel 292. The proposed project is to construct a camp pavilion, replace septic system, and install water line utilities with associated tree clearing and grading within 100 feet of wetlands. Files can be viewed online at, do I need to give those addresses, Jen, or just?
I don't think, no, it's on the agenda.
Okay, files can be viewed online. Do we have a representative for YMCA?
Yes. My name is Mark Mariano with Oak Hill Engineering, 75 Oak Hill Ave, Seekonk, Mass.
My name is Paul Fournier. I'm the CFO with the Attleboro YMCA.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. Paul, do you want me to launch it?
Sure.
Good. Okay. Good evening, members. Actually, Jen, do I get to share my screen, or do you bring it up on your end?
I had it up there, but obviously it wasn't working yet. So try this one. Does everyone see the plan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Jen, if you want to go to C2, or you can start at C1. Yeah, that's fine. So the intent of this project is we're building a 60, the Y hopes to build a 60 by 100 camp pavilion. It is basically a pole barn structure. It's uninsulated. It's just a one-season building. The goal for this is to be able to give kids more shelter in inclement weather. With this structure, it's actually being built on a area of the campground that was supposed to be a tennis court, and and never ended up being a tennis court. So it's just a large paved area. So actually what we're intending on doing on this project is building the structure and removing the remaining pavement. So we are going to reduce our impervious footprint on this site. The other thing we're going to do is there will be restrooms out in this area. Currently, the closest restroom is the Lodge House, which is almost 1,000 feet away. So we are putting men's and women's restrooms in this building. With that comes some infrastructure upgrades. That includes a service line that's coming off of their existing 8-inch main, traveling down the gravel path to the building. And there will also be an associated Title V septic with that building. And that will be found, as shown on the plan, to the north of the camp pavilion.
So before you get too involved in your description, maybe just tell them where they are.
Oh,
And
sorry. So
what street you're on, how you get to the pavilion, where the road is, do the wetland resource areas, and then maybe the activity.
Yep. So this is 295 West Main Street, Norton. It's Camp Finberg. If you go to the next sheet, it'll kind of give an overview of the site. Is that C1 or C3? I can't see.
Looks like one.
Oh. The overall site view, if you go back a sheet, is dead center in the site. So this is it's a 200-acre site, and we're approximately 600 feet from the stream to the south, and about 300 feet to the west property line. East property line, and I would say almost 1,000 feet to the north property line. So
the main driveway comes in here.
Yep.
You hit the lodge and the pool area. The driveway continues up to this maintenance building, and then goes all the way up to the soccer fields in the back. And then this is where they want to do most of the work. And so the wetland is along here on this green, in the back here, near the septic, along this edge as well. That as close as we get.
Yeah, so most of the work we will be falling within the 100 to 50 foot buffer zone for the utility upgrades. There will be where we're installing the septic system will fall within the 50-foot buffer. None of the septic components will fall within the 50-foot buffer, but there will be some grading and tree clearing associated with that. The reason we chose this area for the septic too, we dug other test pits around the property. We dug to the west behind, going towards the stream where the basketball courts are. And that material is actually a different type of material. Go a little bit south, right where it says existing tree line and where my scale is. So in that general area is where we originally wanted to find decent material. We did not find good material over there. It was glacial till with really high groundwater. As we went more towards the site, we then found the test pits that are logged here, and they were found in sandy, good draining material. Higher groundwater, but good draining material.
And up here?
Up there, we didn't really investigate up there as much, just the logistics of the site, because there's a drainage swale around the sides. We didn't want to have to pump and go through that in that area. And also another reason why we picked this area is it gave us enough distance between the existing tree line where we could still shield it with a tree line area. You know, this system will be a little bit raised because of the high groundwater, and we wanted to be able to shield it visually.
Okay, all the work total is less than an acre, is that correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay, and no changes to the swale?
No changes to the swale, no.
Well, except for this, what's happening here, there's,
So we're maintaining the swale. We're going to put a little bit of an earth bridge so that the kids can cross it and they're not running through the swale. And then there'll be a post and rope fence that kind of corrals them there.
okay, is there a detail for that?
Yep, so go to the I believe it's on the last sheet. Don't hold me to it, but.
This was the plan you gave me for presentation.
Oh, okay. If you know the big set that I get, or the PDF I had sent the other day, it had I think 7 sheets in it.
All right, so you think it's on the last plan?
Yeah, it's likely on C5, and it's also called out. More details are called out in elevations. Are called out on I believe it's C4, and that's the building zoom in portion.
And is this a culvert underneath here?
Yes, that is a HDPE pipe.
What size is it?
I believe it's 18.
Okay, and just that the post, the no disturbance zone visual barrier, the post should be up here at the edge of work, at the limit of work.
Okay, so you want, yep, that's not an issue. So yeah, it's on, Jennifer, it's on C4.
Okay,
And we call out for an 18-inch HDPE N12 dual wall pipe. It's a 20-foot stick.
those were all the questions I had, Dan.
Okay. Anything else from the presenters? And if not, do we have any other questions from the commission before we open it up to the public, general public? Any? Okay. At this time, then, I'll ask members of the public have any questions or concerns they would like to. Here we go. Now, I don't see any. I see participants, but I don't see anything in the chat box. So does that mean we're free and clear, or wait a minute? I guess I'm supposed to look for hands.
Yeah, the raise hands button is also under the participants tab at the bottom. Yes, next to the yes and no's.
Okay. So, and it will that show up automatically?
It'll show up on in your little Brady Bunch box. It'll show up in the corner.
Okay.
There are no hands raised, Dan.
Okay, thank you. So I don't see any hand raised. I guess then we should I entertain a motion to continue file 250-1074.
What are you continuing for, Dan?
Yeah.
Are you looking for other information, or do you have any other questions?
Oh.
If not, you can close.
Okay. I'm sorry. When I say continue, what I meant was motion to, would anyone like to make a motion to close
I'll make the motion to close file number 250-1074.
Dan Doyle makes a motion to close. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Gene Blood. Okay, motion passes.
You do a roll call, please.
Oh, and we'll do a roll call. Dean Blood,
Aye.
Dan Doyle,
Aye.
Dan Pearson, aye. Ron O'Reilly. Is Ron there?
He's there, he's just muted. He's saying aye.
Okay. Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. So we're on to the next one.
Thank you, Jen. One question, do you want just one updated sheet showing the posts on the edge of the clearing, or you just want that as a part of a condition in the order?
One sheet would be great.
Okay.
Yep, just a hard copy, please. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. So we move on to notice of intent for file 250-1075, Massachusetts Department of Transportation, 3 Mile River Bridge, MP 6.84, map 33, parcel 11. The proposed project is to widen the existing track embankment / ballast and replace the existing bridge within 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetland and within 200 feet of the 3 Mile River. Files can be viewed online. So is there anyone here representing MDOT?
Yep, this is Kyle Purdy from Jacobs Engineering, so senior wetland scientist. And then we also have on the call also from Jacobs Engineering, Tom Cabana, who's project manager, and the two of us will be representing MassDOT Rail.
Thank you, Mr. Purdy. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yep, so Jennifer, if you mind kind of zooming out a little bit. I know I gave you a lot of slides here. We'll go through them pretty quickly.
More like that.
Yep, perfect. And then just start kind of scrolling down. So our railroad embankment is located between Harvey Street and New Taunton Ave. It's going to be crossing the 3 Mile River. This is associated with the Attleboro secondary line. And it's key to point out that as pursuant to Section 24 of the bond bill, the bridge replacement work is exempt from this, the Wetlands Protection Act. But what we filed with our notice of intent is proposed widening of existing embankment or ballast of the railroad tracks. And that is for physical stability of it. So you'll see in the photographs later on, we want to also take this opportunity to widen the track and kind of fill in some gaps that have developed over time. It's critical to point out, we'll see an aerial in a minute, that just east of the bridge is the municipal line. So not only have we filed a notice of intent with Norton, but also with Taunton, which is also happening right now, their public hearing. So the impacts that you'll see later on are just for the ones happening in Norton. So if you scroll down, so you can kind of quickly see, that's just a quick aerial showing where the bridge is, and then the two municipal lines. If you keep scrolling.
So 140 is down here?
To the west, so the left-hand portion of the screen.
Down here.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll get a more specific delineation map later, but this is just the Mass DEP wetlands layer. So you can imagine next to a heightened embankment, you have BVW on both sides of the embankment. And our widening will take place within just the 100-foot buffer zone to BVW and bank, as well as the riverfront area, but there will be no impacts to wetlands or water bodies.
Or the bank?
Or the bank.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then you can see here, so the blue line is perennial stream. This is a tributary to 3 Mile River shown on the top half of the site plan. The orange is not only our temporary erosion control, so in here we have koi log at the TOA slope, but also the addition of ballast to widen the embankment and fill in some of the natural swales that come from off of the track. And then the green is delineated BVW. So you can see a majority of our impacts here. We total within the 100-foot buffer zone, 5,300 square feet of permanent fill. And that's within Matt Trail's existing right of way.
Is this the 100 foot?
Yep.
Okay. And is that also the inner riparian?
Yep. Okay. And then your purple is the 200. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can see that very thin line. There's a little bit of embankment filling right adjacent to the existing track right now, but a majority is it to maintain the stability right leading up to the bridge. So then if you go to the next sheet, we wanted to provide this to the commission so they fully understand the purpose and need of the project. So this is the bridge replacement. It's deteriorating, and that's being handled with Mass DEP underneath the water quality certification. So as part of the bond bill, we wanted to lead first with the track widening before we go ahead and show DEP these associated impacts that will require water quality cert. So you can see similarly there's widening next to the adjacent abutments, but just wanted to give a better overview of what's delineated on site, what exists. This is the main portion of 3 Mile River, as well as associated BVW on either side located at the TOA slope. And then if you go to the next sheet, so you can see that dotted black line that comes in at an angle, that's the municipal line. So here's just showing just a laydown area that's already cleared. We just, doing our field reconnaissance saw that this would not require any tree clearing to kind of stage material in this area. And then also east, you see there's also track widening, and this is all in Taunton. So that's being permitted underneath a separate Mass DEP number tonight. And then if you go to the next page, you'll see the impact areas specific only to Norton are highlighted here. So you see that the one column that shows ballast, so that's permanent impacts. And then koi logs is our erosion control. So you can see permanent impacts total 5,365 square feet. And then for riverfront area, the total permanent impact is 634 square feet. So it's that last little bit that was on the most western end of the project. That light purple. If we keep going down, I just wanted to highlight that on the DEP WPA 3 form, we checked BVW, but we really just wanted to show buffer zone only impacts. So I know this is kind of tough to all try and fit it on one line without going to the next one. But we thought this was a good opportunity to highlight our proposed buffer zone impacts, as well as at the bottom of the page, the riverfront area impacts.
Okay, so riverfront is in the correct place, but buffer zone, you don't typically put the quantification. This makes it look like you're altering BVW, and you said that you're not. So if you can revise that one page, that would be great.
Okay. Yep. Of course.
Thank you.
If you keep scrolling down, I think we get into some photos here.
You know what? I'm sorry. Before we go there, can we go back to the plan and you show us BLSF, because you don't have anything there.
So BLSF we're outside of. So there wasn't a flood impact study done for this segment of 3 Mile River. We're about 1.5 miles north of where that study came from. But as far as the elevation of, we calculated it off the 100-year storm event, and all of our work is done above that elevation. So we're not within either the mapped plan view BLSF or below the BFE. So the project poses no impacts to floodplain.
You've done the calculations according to the regulations 10.7? Yep. Okay.
Hi, this is Tom Page. Just want to know we're actually extending the bridge to get out of the impacts. If you look where it says existing bridge abutment, that's actually where the new abutment is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the elevation that you came up with for floodplain, is it marked on this plan somewhere?
It is not. We have a cross-sectional drawing that we're using in the water quality cert, but this particular work of the replacement of the bridge is exempt from the WPA. So we can certainly share that information because we're using it for our next permit. But yeah, we're above that calculated elevation.
Okay, understood. We'll have to go through the calculations that you did just to be able to confirm it. It is good to put it on the plan though to show that you're outside of the floodplain. Otherwise, it's sort of a loose end with where's the floodplain.
Yeah.
If you're able to put that line on here, even though this is the portion that you say is exempt, that is helpful.
Yep. And those calculations are contained in the stormwater report. So the hydraulic calcs are buried in there, but I could, after this meeting, provide those separate PDFs for you to review and have on file if you'd like.
Okay. That would be easier. Yeah. Thank you.
Instead of going through, 350 pages of a full NOI.
Well, it's good that you put so much detail into it, but it's a little confusing where you say we're exempt, but then you filed for a permit and then trying to figure out, well, what are you actually asking for a permit for?
Right.
So if you can separate that, that would also be helpful.
Okay.
If there's, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, by all means, Dan, if there's.
No, I was just wondering if you were done or is there?
I was just, there's a few photos here. So the top pictures, you're looking underneath the bridge. The second photo here, you're looking westward into kind of from the municipal boundary into Norton. And you can kind of see the side slopes. And then if you scroll down, the top picture is standing in the BVW looking at the southern TOA slope. And then the bottom one is your northern TOA slope.
On the side.
Yep.
Is this the section where you're bumping it out?
Yeah, but we're going to, if you scroll down one more, sorry, you can see that we're staying within kind of the tree line. So we'll be widening, but we're just kind of filling in the gapped areas where there's snow. We're not going to be kind of going all the way down to TOA slope and have to build back up. It's just kind of extending it out so it's all at the same grade as the existing rail right now.
Okay. And I noted for the commission that we do need to schedule my site inspection with DOT. So I think some of this will be a lot clearer once I'm able to see it.
Do members of the commission have any questions or comments?
Just a comment on the track is not really being widened. It's the road bed, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. We're not increasing gauge.
Correct.
If there are no other members of the commission, members of the public.
And I actually have a quick question.
Yes.
So in the narrative, it looks like the project is being characterized as a limited project, as a water dependent use, and I just wondered what the water dependent use is.
The bridge replacement, and then the ballast, the embankment widening is needed for the stability of the replacement.
So Carrie, in your packet, It's attachment B.
B.
I'm trying to flip to it now. So the definition of water dependent use.
Yeah, I was
Also-
looking for the water dependent use definition and I didn't find that before this.
So it's in your packet and it's
Yeah.
after the section on limited projects.
Ah, there it is. All right, thank
Okay.
you.
So then it said crossings over or under water bodies or waterways, but limited to railroad. So that is what qualifies them as water.
Great, thank you. I've been looking for the definition within the regs before. I didn't even see it on the page. Thank you.
But that does bring up a good question about the limited project. So are you saying it's a limited project because you're above threshold in the riverfront area?
And also it's a maintenance activity of an existing rail.
Sure. So first you look at whether the project is above threshold or if you can't meet performance standards.
Right.
Then you look at, is it a limited project and does it meet one of those criteria for the maintenance project? So because,
We are meeting
because you're above
performance.
threshold, then you can check the next box and say, yes, it does qualify as one of those items. Okay, and no BVW in the area of critical environmental concern.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, do we have any comments or questions from the audience? I don't see any hands raised. If not, then we can consider a motion.
So we have a plan revision, the page 3 of the notice of intent revision and my site inspection. So you're looking at a continuance. Our next meeting is April 26th.
So would anyone like to make a motion to continue to April 26th?
I'll make a motion to continue.
Ron O'Reilly makes a motion to continue to the April 26th meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Gene Blood. And I'll call a roll. Gene,
Aye.
Dan Doyle,
Aye.
Dan Pearson, aye. Ron O'Reilly,
Aye.
Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. And just thank you for your time. And Jennifer, if you want to coordinate with me for you or anybody on the commission to do the site inspection, just let us know. But this is the railway that's, not just directly adjacent to a road. So safety is a big concern and we need to coordinate a safety officer to escort us.
Yes.
But I'd be happy to do so if you guys want to give us some free dates.
Sure.
Thank
Have you done the inspection with Michelle?
I did.
Oh, you've already done one.
Yeah. Thursday
Okay.
last week. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Do we want to
Good
consider
evening.
dates now, or do we want to think, Jen, or should we move? Do we want to consider those dates now for the inspection, or?
If commission members are interested, you could either come up with that now or you just email me some dates.
Okay, maybe we'll table it and do it by email then. Okay, thank you. And
Thank you
we're
guys.
Moving.
Thank you.
Railroad to railroad. The next item C, requests for determination of applicability, DET number 1109, Massachusetts Coastal Railroad, Massachusetts Coastal Railroad right-of-way. The proposed plan is to confirm wetland boundaries and approve vegetation management activities along the Massachusetts Coastal Railroad right-of-way. Files can be viewed online. Do we have a representative of the Massachusetts Coastal Railroad?
They actually have 2 meetings at the same time tonight, so they've requested a continuance to April 26th.
I would like to, and would anyone like to entertain a motion to make a motion to continue?
Mr. Chairman, I propose a continuation to April 26th.
Mr. Blood makes a motion to continue to the April 26th meeting. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Ron O'Reilly seconds. And I'll take a roll call. Gene Blood,
Aye.
Dan Doyle,
Aye.
Dan Pearson, aye. Ron O'Reilly,
Aye.
Kerry Snyder.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving right along. Notice of intent number 250-1065 Leonard Street, Phase 2, owner LLC, 0 Leonard Street, map 11, parcels 22, 25-0, 25-01, and map 12, parcel 15, continued from numerous dates. The proposed project is the construction of road and associated utilities within the riverfront area and 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetland. Files can be viewed online. And do we have a representative of the Leonard Street proposed construction?
Yes, good evening, Mark Dibb with Condyne Engineering Group.
Hi, Mark.
So just to bring you up to date, our last meeting was on March 22nd. We had just resubmitted a response to John Chessia's number 3 review on that 22nd. So there was still some comments outstanding. On the 25th, I did have an email request from John on 2 small additional items, and we followed up with a resubmittal of a full set of drawings and documents on 3/29. Which included a set of hard copies to the town, and requested if John had any further comments. And I have not seen any additional comments from John since the 29th correspondences. I believe we have met his review comments, and if the board has any additional questions or comments, I can answer those now.
Board members? Any questions, comments for Mark?
We did get the revised notice of intent, page 3, with the alteration amounts. So we do have that now.
Correct.
And if there's no other discussion, I'll open it up to members of the public.
A little quick there. So
Oh, sorry.
when you did the site inspection, you had talked about a retaining wall in the existing cart path.
Yeah, so go to the next sheet.
I'm trying, it's not moving anymore. This is the,
Yeah.
it looks like there's only 4 pages on this. This is the one you just sent today.
Yeah, that's not, I had sent one when we resubmitted. I do have the colored one from the original submittal.
Can you see this plan with the highlighting?
It's not coming up yet.
Okay, hold on,
Give it a
one
second.
more. It's one of those nights where we have to click it twice. Okay, so that's just,
Okay, yep.
this is the page where
Correct.
you have the existing cart path here, right, somewhere over here. And then that's your proposed limit of work. The yellow is the wetland boundary. Let me see if I can make that a little closer. And then it looks like you're about 12 feet away from the wetland.
Correct. So, yeah, right where your hand is, just a little bit to the left, there's a 10-foot dimension. So that is, yes, right there. That is the edge of the existing cart path to the wetlands. And then to the right, there's a dimension, an NDC dimension. It says 12.7. That is our new limit of work. I did, in a response back in January 18th, provide a response to comment, 6 different comments regarding the site walk, and requested, since we were, the grading regarding this question is from the hand right now over to the edge of pavement. And since this was already in the vicinity of the cleared gravel driveway, we were requesting to maintain the grading as shown on the plans. We do have a wall, if you remember on the site visit, we centered this roadway at the highest point possible through this area. We do have a wall on the other side to minimize the distance, and you'll see there's an NDZ with a 15 or 25 foot, yeah, right there. So we did maintain the minimum 25 or your no disturb area. However, we were requesting to be able to continue to grade as shown, primarily because we would not be disturbing any additional vegetation, and a retaining wall in this area would be costly, as well as we'd only be able to pull the limit of work in between providing a shoulder and guardrail and retaining wall. We'd be able to pull the limit of work in at max about 4 feet in an area that's already disturbed as the gravel driveway. So we were requesting to be able to continue with the grading as shown. You'll note on that plan, there is a double for the construction period. There is a double row of silt fence there to make sure there's no erosion into the wetlands. But I did summarize that statement back in the January 18th letter, and we had not had any feedback at this point. So we have not changed the proposal yet at this time.
Okay, and so the commission, you just need to decide if you're okay with that, and then decide about the visual barrier. You typically have a fencing requirement. In the past, they've done posts. So that you would just need to decide if you're going to allow the posts again, or fencing in some spots, or all posts. So those are the 2 things that I needed to know from you to finish the draft order.
And what would be the argument against just doing what they've done, if any?
There's no argument either way. It's just what do you want me to put in the order?
We're okay with the posts. We're used to that, and we can get those installed as needed.
Okay, so anyone have?
Yeah, I'll say something real. Just remembering walking the site, I think it is. I don't see any problem with just keeping it at the existing grade and doing without the retaining wall. Just from months ago when we walked the site, that was my thought.
Okay. Any further? So
you have everything. You're ready to close. If everybody agrees with those 2.
Are there any members?
One question I have. One more question with
go ahead, Dan.
The post and rail, or the just posts with the sign. That's just going along the road, the access road, right where the wetland is.
At the limit of work, yeah.
Okay.
Within resource areas.
Okay.
Yeah, not the whole site, not if it's outside the resource area.
All right.
Do we have any questions from the general public? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on 250-1065.
I'll make a motion to close public hearing
Ron O'Reilly makes a motion to close the public hearing. Do you hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Gene Blood. We'll do a roll call. Gene Blood.
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
I just missed who the second was.
Sorry?
Who was the second?
I think it was Gene.
I
did, Gene.
Gene, then Dan. Gene, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Okay, so we move on to notice of intent for file 250-1057, Rusito Brothers LLC, 253 Mansfield Avenue, map 3, parcel 722. I apologize. Did I pronounce the name correctly?
No one's here. They've requested a continuance to 4/26.
Okay, I must have pronounced it correctly then. Okay. Entertaining a motion to continue 250-1057 to the 4/26 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to continue to 4/26.
Okay. Gene Blood makes a motion, and almost synchronous Dan Doyle is second, I think. We'll take a roll. Gene Blood.
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Looks like notice of intent 250-1070. They want a continuance.
May 10th.
To May 10th. The May 10th, 2021 meeting. I will entertain a motion to continue.
Make the motion to continue file number 250-1070 to the May 10th meeting.
Dan Doyle makes a motion to continue. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Gene Blood seconds. I'll take a roll call. Gene Blood.
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry?
I said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank
Sorry,
you.
I should have said it earlier, and Dan, you did a great job filling in, too.
Well, that's very generous. I don't know if it's deserved, but it's very generous. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Much
Bye.
appreciated.
Bye.
Let's see. Okay, so now we go on to extensions. Request for a 3-year extension on the amended order of conditions for file 250-0978. Is there the proposed? Do I have to read this whole thing, or do we? Okay, I guess.
That's for the aquatic plant management.
Yeah. Okay, so Town of Norton Mansfield Avenue / Norton Reservoir Aquatic Plant Management Program, map 9, parcels 229, 230, map 3, parcel 733, map 10, parcel 525, map 16, parcel 65. The proposed project is to treat and remove aquatic invasive plant species using a variety of methods in the Norton Reservoir.
So Matt, I don't know if you want to say a few words or.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to just
you.
catch the commission up on where we're at real quick. I think most of you probably are familiar with this. If not, ESS has been assisting the town of Norton with management of Norton Reservoir for the past several years. And we've had a lot of success using a variety of methods to control the invasive species that are there. But it's an ongoing challenge. So essentially what we've got here, what Jennifer is screen sharing, is a record of what we've done or how, I guess, the results that we've gotten in each year from the different reservoirs and ponds that we've been working on. Right now, I'll just stick with Norton Reservoir since that's the first one up. As you can see, there's a lot of red dots in that first year, 2017, which is the first year of our management program. Variable leaf milfoil and fan are really the two main species that are a problem at Norton Reservoir. Then in 2018, water chestnut popped up, and we really have a whole slew of different plants here throughout the reservoir. The response to the 2017 treatments that we did, which included sonar treatment primarily, was pretty good. So you see in 2018, we've got a lot more of the green and the yellow dots, which means lower coverage of those species. And we've been trying to maintain that going forward by doing a variety of things, including hand harvesting and using different kinds of herbicides to avoid, developing resistance to a particular herbicide in any particular plant population. So now that we're at 5 years and we've seen some success, we're just coming back to the commission to ask for a 3-year extension to continue to implement this program in Norton Reservoir using the same tools that we already have approved by the commission.
Any questions, discussion? Milfoil, I guess, is picking up again. It doesn't want to leave the reservoir, I take it?
Yeah, unfortunately, when you have a mature population of really any of these invasives, persistence is the only thing that really works over the long term. So, and then of course, trying to prevent new plants from getting into the reservoirs. So I think one success we've had is that we have identified a few new plants that were not present previously and been able to sort of nip those infestations in the bud before they get out of control. But once they get out of control, like the milfoil, it's a long haul and a lot of work to try to get them back under control.
Something just occurred to me, Matt. I was thinking that, if this were above land, and this might not be as crazy as it sounds, if it were above land, we'd just hire some goats. Do you have any fish? Are there any fish, anything that are thrilled about eating these essentially underwater weeds, these invasives?
Yeah, that's a good question. The answer is yes, there are, but unfortunately, none of them are native to Massachusetts. And the one that's used elsewhere in the country is illegal to stock in Massachusetts. That's the grass carp. So that's not a tool that's available to us right now.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the carp is something that is growing out of control elsewhere. Anyway, it was worth asking. Members of the commission, any questions?
I have one question on
Mr. Doyle, go ahead.
The say the curly leaf pondweed, which looks like it's getting more of it in the reservoir. And there was an asterisk next to it in 2019, 2018. So can there be action taken on that, or will there be this year? Will you try to treat that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So on this chart, that wherever you see an asterisk, it basically means that there was no management action taken that year that would affect that particular species. We did treat the reservoir in 2018, 2019, but it was too late in the season to affect curly leaf. That plant has a very short life cycle that starts early in the season. So really the only thing that we're doing that would target curly leaf pondweed is a sonar application, because that has to start earlier in the year, and it would take out this year's crop of curly leaf pondweed, which might help a little bit with next year's regrowth. But it's not a great way to deal with curly leaf pondweed. There's really not a lot of great management options for that in particular. What we view it as is it's more of an incidental plant that is being impacted by some of the treatments we do. We think it'll keep it in control, but we're not specifically targeting curly leaf at this point, just because it requires way too much maintenance. And we don't find it in the reservoir for very long over the course of the year.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions from the audience members? I don't see any hands anywhere. Okay. So I entertain a motion to issue the extension.
I'll make the motion to issue the 3-year extension for the Town of Norton aquatic plant management program.
Dan Doyle makes a motion to extend. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Carrie Snyder, I think, makes seconds the motion. I'll take a roll call. Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Gene Blood.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next is an extension request for a 3-year extension on the amended order of conditions, file 250-0980, Town of Norton, South Worcester Street / Chartley Pond, map 26, parcel 8. The proposed project is an aquatic plant management program at Chartley Pond to treat and remove aquatic invasive plant species using a variety of methods. And
Actually, before we start that, Ron, do you need to recuse as an abutter?
I can.
Because then we don't have enough members to discuss this tonight. We'd have to continue it to the next meeting.
I voted on it previously.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, so we're okay then to move to Ron is not recusing himself?
No.
No.
Correct. Or yeah, okay, he's not. Okay, so do we have any any presentation or are these all, are we taking these together? Am I missing something?
No, you're sticking with Chartley Pond, so you can vote on that 3-year extension.
Oh, okay, so we're not gonna have any discussion or it's basically the same as the previous one.
Correct, unless you have questions for Matt.
I'll make a motion for a 3-year extension on the amended order of conditions to file number 250-0980, Town of Norton, South Worcester Street, Chartley Pond.
Mr. O'Reilly makes a motion to continue 250-0980. Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
And Mr. Blood seconds. I'll take a roll call. Carrie Snyder, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dan Pearson, aye. Ron O'Reilly?
Aye.
Dan Doyle?
Aye.
Gene Blood?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is a request for a 3-year extension on the amended order of conditions 250-0973, town map 19, parcel 183. The proposed project is to treat and remove aquatic invasive plant species using various methods in Lake Winnicunnet. Any further presentation or questions of any kind?
I'll make a motion for a 3-year extension on the amended order of conditions to file number 250-0973.
Ron O'Reilly makes a motion to continue. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And Gene Blood seconds. We'll take a roll call. Carrie Snyder?
Aye.
Dan Pearson? Aye. Ron O'Reilly?
Aye.
Dan Doyle?
Aye.
Gene Blood?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have orders of condition, or orders of conditions, and orders of resource area delineation. Let's see. Request for partial/full certificate of compliance. DEP file 250-0943, Town of Norton, off Plain Street, map 19, parts 2 and 3. The proposed plan is to construct a new water treatment plant with associated water piping within within the 100-year floodplain, riverfront, and within 100 feet of wetlands. And this has yet to be inspected, I take it?
Well, I had sent an email last week asking about 3 of the conditions and didn't receive a reply, so I have not done the inspection yet.
Okay. And is there anyone, do we have anyone here who wants to speak about the
Yes, so Tara McManus of Weston and Sampson. I also have Mel Higgins, our senior environmental scientist, professional wetland scientist with me. And I believe Frank Fournier from the Town of Norton Water and Sewer Department Superintendent is also on the line. We just wanted to answer any questions that might still be outstanding. I know that Mel sent an email to Jennifer today responding to her questions from last Wednesday afternoon. So I can just read through those responses if that would be helpful. The first question she had was one of the conditions, number 36, which was monthly reports not submitted in time shall be deemed a violation of this order, and the commission or agent may cease all work on the site until the reports are received. This project has actually been around for quite a while. We had a 3-year extension and a 1-year extension last year. The actual work that was mostly concerning for the Conservation Commission was the directional drill across the river. This is the water treatment plant. If you're not familiar with the project site, it's off of Plain Street. There's existing well sites throughout the area, and we actually did a directional drill to go from the new treatment plant site across to the existing wells 5 and 6. So we actually completed all that work back in 2018 as far as the directional drill work goes, and there were reports submitted to the Conservation Commission at that time. We actually would have probably filed for a certificate of compliance last year. However, the as-built drawings were required to be provided by the contractor. And unfortunately, that was one of the things that was on their punch list to complete, which they just submitted to us this year, actually. So the project is completely constructed, and pretty much all of the work as far as the directional drill was completed, as I said, back in 2018. We also did some work within the existing roadways. They are gravel roadways, dirt roadways leading back to well site 4 and well sites 5 and 6, from Plain Street back to King Phillips on 5 and 6. And then the new treatment plant is actually predominantly constructed outside of the wetland resource area. There's a portion of the proposed access road to the treatment plant and a little sliver of area within the 100-foot floodplain, as well as the 200-foot riverfront area. So overall, the project was, we did all the restoration of all the disturbed areas in 2018, as far as the directional drill was concerned. 2019, we actually were able to plant grass seed. 2020, we checked it back in and made sure that all the grass and all the disturbed areas were actually full grown. And then obviously now we're in 2021 and ready to close out the overall project. So reports were sent monthly at that time, back in 2018, as I said. The other condition that Jennifer had brought to our attention was condition number 44, which was directional drilling shall only occur during a period of low flow, July and August. Reports were submitted in August and in September, identifying that we were actually going to be a little bit into September to complete that drilling. And it was completed by the end of September in 2018. And that was identified in the August report, in the monthly monitoring report. The next condition she brought to our attention was condition number 64, which reads, all wetland resource areas shall be kept clean of rubbish, debris, and construction materials. The applicant owner shall be responsible for ensuring all workers at the site properly dispose of materials. Post-construction, the applicant shall ensure that all trash is properly disposed of and not dumped in the wetlands. After the directional drill work was completed across the wetland area, everything was restored. There was no rubbish or debris or construction materials left on site. There may be some debris out there now. The area between wells 5 and 6, it is an active cross route for pedestrians. But when we had inspected the site, we had made sure that all the construction debris had been fully removed and everything is properly disposed of. So that was response to the 3 outstanding conditions that were brought up by Jennifer. And then I did just email over to her before this meeting a copy of the registry filing for the extension request that was completed in March of 2020 through the commission. So everything is on file at this point with the South Bristol County Registry of Deeds. So I guess the
condition about the pre and post photos.
Yep. So we have, we sent you guys the, in the actual attachment, I guess it's just more the post-construction photos. I believe numerous photos were sent before. I can pull those back up and send them to you. I think it was just compiled prior to construction. We have a video. I mean, I'm not sure how much you really want to see as far as the pre-construction. The area where the treatment plant was all forest, and now it's pretty much clear, but that's not really the area of concern for Conservation Commission. I think would maybe be the roadway, the access road going in. I just want to kind of clarify exactly what you specifically want to look at for those pre-construction, I should say.
Yeah, I'll have to pull out the condition because I thought that was the condition that I had listed for you, but that wasn't the one you read. So we'll have to pull that condition up and look at it. I think it was for the roadway, but you would do pre and post right next to each other so we can see that they're the same. Not, I don't want a whole slew of photos that don't match up to anything that I can't compare. So that's what we would be looking for.
Okay. Mel, we can pull that together. Yes, I just wasn't sure what we probably provided too many photos of the treatment plant itself and some of the other areas around there. So we can stick to the areas that are within the 100-foot buffer zone if that's the preference. The roadways are active. I mean, over the years, the town plows them, they go through there and fill ruts and stuff. But we have at least before 2018, if you will, 2017, we can show construction of that.
I think that's probably the point, to show that the road hasn't expanded beyond what the permit allows, and that I think sometimes during the plowing, material gets pushed beyond the road into the past the limit of work. I think that's the point of the pre and post photos.
Sure, and we can talk about that after I send in your photos if you have any concerns about that.
Okay. So you'd have to take it up at the next meeting. I have to do the inspection.
Okay.
And we need a motion to continue.
You could just not act on it and just hold it for the next meeting.
Okay. So thank you for coming in.
Sure.
And we move on to review of the draft minutes for the Monday, March 22nd, 2021 meeting. Does anyone have any comments on the minutes? If not, if I were Julian right now, I'd be asking myself if I had any comments on it, and not too many. No, you might italicize Phragmites australis and a few other tiny little things, but it's nothing. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes for March 22nd.
I'll make the motion to accept the Monday, March 22nd, 2021 minutes.
Okay, Dan Doyle makes a motion to accept. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Gene Blood seconds. I'll take a roll call. Kerry Snyder.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Gene Blood.
Aye.
Motion passes. And now we move on to business. Right of first refusal for the Daggett Crandall Newcomb home, portions of Newland and Newcomb Street, map 5, lot 29. Similar to the last ROFRs we've recently reviewed. This parcel is adjacent to those and not abutting any other protected land. Jen, did you want to, or is there anyone else who has any comments on this one? Comments, discussion, thoughts? Any members?
Assuming it's the same answer you gave the last time.
Yeah, if it's not abutting any other protected land, I don't see any reason why we need to assert our right of first refusal.
Okay. So we just, do we need?
Is that your motion, Carrie?
That is my motion.
Thank you.
Carrie Snyder makes a motion to do nothing? To
Not recommend exercising the right of first refusal.
not
Thanks, Jen.
not recommend exercising the right of first refusal.
I'll second that.
And Dan Doyle seconds. We will take a roll. Carrie Snyder, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dan Pearson, aye. Ron O'Reilly,
Aye.
Dan Doyle,
Aye.
Gene Blood.
Aye.
Motion passes. And we're on to old business.
Yeah, we don't have much old business. You did get an order today. Sorry about that, but it was today. The draft order for Leonard Street. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. If not, maybe you can take a look at it tomorrow. We'll actually issue when Melissa comes back from vacation. So if you see anything in it this week, just email me separately so I can make those changes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other?
So we had, you had a motion to close, but not one to issue the permit for Leonard Street.
So we're in,
But we meet in, we do meet in 2 weeks, so you could hold off for 2 weeks if you needed to.
do we want to do that? Do we want to, how do people feel? Do we want to wait 2 weeks
So if
on?
nobody had time to look at it today, then yeah, I would wait the 2
yeah.
weeks. We'll put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to do that?
Nope.
Okay. Any other old business?
The only thing I would add is that David Kavanaugh will be starting and finishing the Mother Nature sculpture at Edith Reed Conservation Property starting next Monday. Probably take him 3 days, and then on Earth Day, Thursday, the 22nd at noon, we'll do like a little presentation of the 2 sculptures that he did. So if people are available, you're welcome to join us. It's open to the public. You just have to wear masks and social distance, but people can go and watch him work. He's fine with that. We'll have the area roped off so people aren't, getting wood chips thrown at them, but it should be a lot of fun.
So we'll have to wear not just masks, but goggles as well.
Hey, you just stay
A face
in the
shield.
back here.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have any, are we going to do a bill summary, or do we have any other old business?
I don't think so. You may want to just see if anybody has anything to add from the public.
Does anyone, I do see we have at least one member of the public.
You don't have to. It's just if you have any questions or comments.
Questions or comments or complaints about the chair.
The chair is doing an excellent job. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
You'll get your check later, Terry.
That's fine. You can adjourn now. We don't have any other business.
That was my next, if we have no other comments and so on and so forth, I will entertain a motion from commission to adjourn.
So moved.
Ron O'Reilly moves to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second from Dan Doyle. I will take the final roll call of the night. Gene Blood, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Ron O'Reilly.
Aye.
Dan Pearson. Aye. Carrie Snyder.
Aye.
This meeting of the Conservation Commission is now adjourned. Have a great
Hey.
week, everybody. Stay safe.
All
Thank
right.
you,
See you
Dudley.
later.